Go for it.
What is up, everyone? It's the one, the only, the gorilla in the economist, the one and only Senor Silverback, coming to you on another edition. This actually is a special broadcast, is it not, CJ?
Special broadcast and a new show.
Yes, it is special, as Bane would say. Very special indeed. We have Solutions Matter. I guess we're going to title this Generations Collide because you and I, CJ, we're like the Gen Xers, and you got the young millennials, and I'm proud of these two guys, man. These guys, Jack Caroselli and Robert Johnson. Robert Jones. These guys are absolutely epic, amazing individuals. So I'm glad to have these guys on board.
Well, yeah, glad to be here.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we were on Rogue Money, and you guys, I guess, sent an email and said we should, work together. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely down.
Yeah.
Dude, totally.
I like the idea of generations colliding too is awesome because not a lot of Generation Xers really care to hear what millennials have to say.
No, exactly, exactly.
Sometimes for good reason, like there's a lot of
there's some pretty
a lot of drivel.
Yeah, not smart ones.
Oh yeah.
But, yeah, I think we're pretty well off. So, yeah, I like the idea of the show. Generations Collide. It's a multiple perspective from different generations.
Yeah,
I think we need more of that because if you look at the world we're in right now, we live in a world that's ruled by people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah,
and the world is garbage because of that. I think if we had a fresh perspective and new people keep weighing in on these issues, I think it would be a lot more productive for everybody. So.
Absolutely. And I think when you're looking at millennials, nobody does any sort of outreach to millennials. I mean, you guys do a fantastic job in terms of helping younger individuals to think more critically and not check your brain at the door, but to actually utilize that gray matter in between your ears to actually think critically about issues from all angles, rather than just parroting an axiom. We hear axioms all the time. I mean, you go to any one of these protests, these marches that are out there, and it's just the same. Everybody's parroting off of each other. He's a racist. He's a xenophobe. He's a homo. I mean, come on. It's just why there's no issues being discussed, and it's just parroting off each other. So when I listen to both of you guys, I was thoroughly impressed, man. I'm like, yo, you guys give hope to the future. Because let's be honest here. I mean, you guys are the future. And Rob, you said it best, man. The world is run by people in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I've been to conferences where, these are old rich dudes.
Yeah.
And they're like
Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just like, so I talked to them. I'm like, so what do you guys think about Bitcoin? Bitcoin. What is that?
I honestly don't know much about Bitcoin.
I mean, it's some sort of a virtual currency, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe. And there's an exchange rate you could look up, and it's like a full Bitcoin is like, I don't know, like $900 or $700 or something like that.
Yep.
And people use it to pay for certain things online. It's often associated with the deep web.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I thought it was $400 last time I checked.
I don't know. I don't know the exact.
I think it was $972 currently.
$972,
wow.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure you can invest stocks.
Oh yeah,
right. You can trade Bitcoins like it's a stock market.
Just like
you can. You can trade Bitcoins, but the point is you look at the older generation, they're just so averse to technology.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm seeing all this incredible technology that's occurring that's really rapidly changing the world. And I'm looking at you guys. You guys are the generation that's really going to take with it and run. I mean, us Gen Xers, we're jaded, right, CJ?
Oh, very, very.
Well, that's how my dad is. I mean, or anybody. I was at work the other day. I had to teach somebody how to use their smartphone. And that's not even in my job description, but they walked in and they were like, I got this new iPhone. And first of all, I looked at it. It's not an iPhone. It was like some off-brand, Walmart type thing.
It's a Kyocera
iPhone. She brought up a phone case that said iPhone on it. And I was like, this isn't, no, go put this back.
No.
How
Somebody
do I
must
add a
have tricked her.
contact? Like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I happen to live with my grandmother and her two sisters, so my great aunts. They're all in their late 60s, early 70s. And really, I think now that they see me and my little brother transitioning and using all of this technology stuff, and they're seeing the value of it, they're starting to hey, you should make me a Facebook and all that stuff. I mean, I think that old people should be on Instagram and all that stuff because then they comment on your everything that you post, and it's like
Yeah.
it gets kind of annoying.
I'm just now convincing
Yeah.
my dad to get a Twitter. Like
Yeah.
just now. Like you need a Twitter. He's like, I can't ever find your podcast. It's like, well, I don't always post it on Facebook. It's Twitter's like the thing now.
Yeah.
And
That's where you post.
I mean,
all the
Facebook is
informational
underrated
stuff.
now because everyone thinks Facebook's for old people, but you can still do a lot there.
Yeah,
but
there's a big audience.
Twitter
for
is like, and the moment they add link sharing in Snapchat is going to be great, where you can put a link in Snapchat stories and they can just click it. And I think they do something like that now, where like a snap code, so people can do sponsors. But I don't know. I think Snapchat's going to be the next big one.
Yeah.
But I really couldn't tell you. I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
They have an IPO coming out soon, maybe.
Yeah, what? Yeah, they have an IPO coming out soon. I just people are trying to figure out exactly what the valuation is going to be, because I know they've been fudging their numbers a little bit. But Snapchat is hot. How did they came out with Snapchat glasses? You guys saw that?
No, I haven't seen that.
Snapchat spectacles.
Yeah, it's like spectacles. Yeah, that's what it is.
They have like vending machines every once in a while, and they're super, super, super expensive.
Like, how much are they?
I believe like at the vending machine they're like 300 or something. But
Lord,
It's a lot to be getting out of a vending machine.
but
Swipe your debit card, $300 at the vending machine.
$300 in quarters.
it's an expensive Pringles can.
yeah, seriously.
What is it? So you can like see what? So you can see the
Snapchat
world through
does some
filters, or what is?
Snapchat does some really special stuff with their app with the spectacles, but on eBay they sell for thousands.
Oh wow! So they're like the Yeezys of tech.
Oh yeah, like
The Yeezys of tech. I love it.
like if I were to see one of these vending machines, I would take out a freaking loan to get as many and then sell them on eBay.
Oh yeah, brilliant idea.
Not a bad plan.
There you go. That's why.
Like, hey, I need a loan.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with this loan?
Go
Buy
to vending
Snapchat
machine.
goggles.
Snap goggles.
Yeah.
Good
That's
deal.
funny.
I don't know if you say it like that, if you're getting anything.
Yeah.
Now, is it true that millennials would rather text than call?
Yeah,
Yes.
with
Yes.
I don't like when I get a phone call.
Well, see,
like,
the thing,
oh.
well, I called Jack, like, because I think you should say important things via phone call. Like, I don't think you
Certain
should text
things, yeah.
important things. So I call Jack, and he never answers the phone. Well, he's usually in some sort of situation. But I think, like, me personally, like, I like the connection of talking to a person, but texting is all right.
See, the thing with a phone call, I feel like I have to drop everything and be a part of the conversation, which, like I said, certain things are good, right? If you have an important conversation or something that you need to have happen quick. But if you're just texting, I can be making dinner, stop to do a text. Whatever. I don't want to have to talk to you on the phone while I.
Well, you could use, your headphones. They have a microphone.
Yeah,
on them.
that's too hard. I don't want to do that.
Not really. Like, people call me when I'm
You'll
playing
hear
video
that a lot
games.
from millennials.
People-
That's too hard.
People call me when I'm playing video games, and I already have my headphones on because I listen to music while I play video games. So they're just like, I just click the button and I'm already on there with them.
I will
keep
have
playing.
a very selfish moment if I'm playing video games and I get a call or like if I get too many Snapchats in a row, I start to resent whoever's talking to me.
Jack, you and I are in the same boat, man.
2022 season.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
That reminded me of this morning, actually. I was driving, and like Donald Trump started tweeting from his president account, and I get notifications for every tweet from
Oh
him.
yeah.
Oh my God, my phone was buzzing.
I can't do notifications for tweets because at the moment I'm like, hey, I would like to know what this guy's saying.
Mhm.
And then he starts tweeting like, shut up. I don't care anymore.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't care.
I had to unfollow a rapper. Like, I'm being in New York and coming up, especially in the '90s and early aughts. I'm a big Talib Kweli fan, and I'm like, oh, cool, Talib Kweli. Let me go follow him on Twitter. And then his political views start coming out. I'm like, this guy's an
Yeah.
idiot.
That's
I'm like,
what,
you're a moron. I mean, you even know what you're talking about? And
Yeah.
like, I gotta unfollow this guy. I'm like, tweet alert, tweet alert, tweet alert. I'm like, stop! I can't
you
deal
know,
with it.
That's the thing with
that's-
a lot of artists.
That's what ruins it for me. Like, because I like Alicia Keys' music.
Yeah,
Then
man.
She started getting political, and I was like,
Never meet your heroes, bro.
I'm
Right?
done with this. Yeah, exactly.
Never
but like-
meet your heroes.
Yeah, like Beyonce and Jay-Z, we talked about them last time, but
Right.
they started, supporting Hillary and everything, and I was just like,
Jay-Z rapping about hoes at a women's
Women's
presidential rally is
Yeah.
the most ironic thing.
Well, I mean, can you give it to these leftists, bro? You got this whole protest thing that's going on where they're all wearing hijabs.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on, dude?
Dressing up
Like,
as-
they're wearing hijabs.
yeah.
And they're like, yes, we're for women's rights. The 1 million woman march.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
their
We did an
iconic
episode about
image
that
of
and made
hijab.
some people really mad. We
Yeah,
talked
I
about
made
the
I made a
Women's
few
March.
statements.
What did you say?
Questioning some intentions of these women at these marches, and I was basically questioning. Well, I said what have women contributed to society, and I know how a lot of people could take that bad.
Oh yeah,
But what people don't realize is that I'm in the women's march mode, and I'm talking about the women's march. Like these women are out here, and it's like, what are they doing? I'm talking about the women at the march. I'm not necessarily saying
Women
all
as a
women.
whole, right?
Yeah,
right. But you know,
But people
some
like to
crazy
think that you
liberals.
generalize,
Yeah,
so.
some crazy liberals going to be like, well, you obviously meant every woman. You meant Harriet Tubman did nothing for society. You know,
Yeah,
they'll go on that
Yeah,
rant and say
they're-
you're a sexist.
they're stupid.
Right.
I got called a sexist in gym because I wouldn't kick a ball to somebody. Like
What?
we were playing a game called Bocker. I kicked a ball to another dude, and there's a girl who goes, "You're a sexist." Excuse
Wow.
me.
And let me
What?
say that I also mentioned this at gym class, and we're kind of getting into like feminism and women's
Yeah.
equality and everything. I
Let's do it.
started we're playing this game called Bocker. It's basically basketball and soccer mixed together.
Dumb
and
game. I hate the game.
They
Cannot stand
we
it.
had we played we yeah, it is a
both
stupid game.
sports separately are great, but
Yeah.
put them together and
It
it's
doesn't
like,
work. But so our gym teacher decided to throw the boys on one team and the girls on
Oh, that's
the
a
other
bad
team.
idea.
And the girls were complaining because we were winning. And I go, well, I thought and then she goes, we're girls. You're supposed to go easy on us.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
like,
you want equal rights.
I thought men and women are equal.
Oh, it's a double standard. Like if you're playing
sure.
pickup basketball and there's the girl on the
Yeah.
other team, if you let her score, your team's like, dude, what are you doing? She's a girl.
Yeah.
Or if you walk up and dunk on her face, they're like, dude, she's a
She's
girl.
a girl.
What are
You can't do
doing?"
that.
What?
You're hurting her.
Like, I'm just taking jump shots from now on. I don't
yeah.
even care.
Yeah. I'm just
Like-
going to shoot threes. That's all I'm going to do.
I'll play some zone defense, take some mid-range jumpers from the elbow. I'm done with this.
Yeah. Because it's not working out.
Oh my gosh.
You want to talk about double standard? What about UC Berkeley, right?
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
Lord. I
Yeah.
took notes on that.
Yeah. I did. I took notes on that because
What you guys think about the UC Berkeley? I mean,
Jack, you go ahead and start them off.
Okay, my thing is that once again, this is a protest turning into something that's no longer a protest. Like
yeah, it's
It-
turning into a riot, dude.
the people who say that Trump's going to destroy the country are the people who go out and start destroying the country. Like, if you set fires and cause thousands of dollars in damage because you're protesting a person you claim is
At
going to
the-
destroy
at
the
your-
country,
At your own
you're
university.
an idiot. Yeah,
You go to school here.
cause your school to be put on lockdown.
and, yeah.
That's why I'm proposing something. Donald
Good.
Trump, if you're listening. We need to keep the freedom to congregate in a protest. That has to be a thing. We have to keep it. But I think we should add something. What I call not prison crimes. Jesus, protest,
Protest crimes.
protest crimes, and it's sort of like a charge multiplier. So, like for arson in Indiana, it's a minimum of 3 to 5 years and a $15,000 fine. So, if you have a protest arson where somebody gets hurt or you cause a lot of damage by purposefully setting a fire, maybe it's 6 to 10 years or 6 to 8 years, and you double the fine. Plus, then the kicker is then 40 hours of community service for the party you were protesting against.
Oh.
I think that would totally deter violence at a protest.
That definitely
The
would.
idea that you then have to serve Milo Yiannopoulos or UC Berkeley or something like that, no one's going to go out and try to be violent.
Yeah.
Plus,
Yeah.
you have and I think that deters people enough, yet keeps the freedom. If you
Yeah.
just peacefully protest, good on you. I don't care, whatever. But you don't need to set fires. Start throwing stuff in windows.
I mean, plus, like, hey, like, if these people are going to go to prison, I mean, they want to live off the government's tax dollars anyways, right?
Right. Yeah.
Well, good point, man.
Yeah. Like you look at battery, it's like up to 180 days and $1,000 fine. You could do simple protest battery. Maybe it's like 15 months or something like that. It just sort of like adds to the sentence.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that will work really good. One thing that I think the left should do a better job at, and they're really great at this when the people are on their side, but they should be more open to other perspectives and other opinions.
That's what
And
they
should
preach. You say you
it
should
is
be
what they preach.
open-minded.
They should,
Tolerance, except for anybody who disagrees with us.
yeah, except for anybody who disagrees with us.
Right, yeah.
They should give President
that's how I
Trump
was
a
for a
chance.
long time.
So
That's how I was for a long time. And that's a problem I have with the whole protesting the speech. Milo Yiannopoulos was going to give a speech. I think he gave one before, caused a protest. He was going to give another, and it got canceled because of all the crap that's going on. They're literally infringing on his right to free speech, using the guise of, well, we have a right to protest.
yeah.
And then they're calling it. And then
But
they're
your
calling Milo a
protest is
fascist.
infringing on his right to free speech.
Right.
So the amazing part to me is
What are you
that
doing?
that area, it was the home, it was the hub of like free speech movements.
Sure.
Suddenly it's not libertarian,
Liberal.
Libertarian would be
If it was
nice.
libertarian,
Far leftist.
it would be nice. But suddenly it's this liberal, anti-free speech, like fascist area. I don't know.
I can't. We made an episode on political correctness.
Oh yeah,
And
it's horrible.
oh my
It's horrible.
god, I can't. And we got a comment on our video. Someone who told us, and they were quite obviously a liberal, and were telling us that we don't understand the complexities of political correctness, and we don't understand. We just don't understand because of our age. You just don't understand. You know how many times I hear that from a liberal? You just
What does that
don't
even mean?
understand
You
me.
don't understand the
You don't
complexity.
understand my gender.
The whole
Then
age
make us
thing.
understand. Argument, right?
Right. If I don't understand, then make me understand.
Yeah, and you
Say
touched
something.
on on the age thing. Like, I hear a lot of old people,
Oh my god.
specifically in their 50s.
Oh,
I really haven't got
Jesus.
any problems for people older than in their 50s. But like, I have a cousin. She's very liberal, and she's had a very, let me say, tough life as far as getting in trouble. But she knows everything apparently because she's lived life and she's in her 50s.
Mhm.
What makes a person know everything simply because of their age? Like, I just don't understand the whole idea that you haven't lived long enough to know this thing or whatever.
There is such a thing
Makes
as
no
wisdom,
sense.
but wisdom and knowledge are not the same thing at all.
Yeah,
Wisdom is what you do with the knowledge.
and age has
That's-
nothing to do with wisdom, by the way.
Correct. 1,000%, man. 1,000%. And the thing is, these people always tell you, you're not old enough. You don't know this. Well, explain. And chances are it's more than likely that they don't have any explanations either because they're holding on to some whatever paradigm that they're married to. You know.
Exactly.
And when you look at these riots, man, something's pretty stood out to me. I mean, me and CJ, we covered it in the morning show. We're gonna probably cover it again. I mean, one of my guys on the ground, he came out with a bit of intel. And that bit of intel, let me just pull it up real quick as I have it here. Here we go. Okay, so this key bit of intel was this. Let me. Okay, now I got to open this window. All right, cool. Here it is. Okay, Project Veritas, and you guys know Project Veritas has done all sorts of like deep cover videos. From rigging elections where they, blew that whole thing wide open to the gas attack at the deplorable. Now the newest thing, and also the abortion video, which went viral, where the lady's like, "Yeah, I'll sell you baby parts for a Lamborghini," and so Project Veritas had an infiltrator at the UC Berkeley. It was deep cover with full audio video recordings this past week. Now they got a lot of the agitators on tape with clear strategy about how to start a riot and shut down Milo's speech. The best part and the icing on the cake is that there is a direct evidence on the tapes of George Soros funding this operation. His son is a PhD candidate there as well and was involved behind the scenes. When the tape comes out early next week after editing, it's going to be an absolute crap storm and probably will result in the loss of federal funding for the university. Trump didn't just tweet out that earlier just by coincidence. Brace yourself. That's the intel that I got.
I retweeted that. He said to the people in UC Berkeley who keep doing this, maybe no more federal funding.
Yeah.
I can't wait because there's gonna be backlash, but it's
And I just want to say, I'm really liking the fact that the new president is so willing to just like tell the American people
how it is.
If you don't get it together, then we're going to do this.
Yep.
Like, because he sent out a tweet
we'll do it without you.
Chicago. He was like, if you guys don't get your act together and stop killing each other, we're going to send in the feds.
I really think that's what you got to do.
You got to do that kind of stuff. You got to do that kind of stuff.
Speaking of that, the Muslim ban, I kind of want to talk about this for a second. We made an episode on the Muslim ban, And
We did.
yeah. Hashtag Muslim.
Oh
ban.
yeah. I didn't remember for a second.
Apparently we're forgetting stuff. I don't know.
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
The Muslim ban is something, and it's not even a Muslim ban. Like that's what we
Correct.
sort of talked about. Is
It's a
it's not
travel
even,
ban.
right? So I'll guess I'll say hashtag Muslim ban because that's really what it's known as at this
Muslim
point on
ban.
Twitter. Yeah, by the liberals, hashtag Muslim ban. I thought of an idea that is gonna. When I say this, it's gonna sound really bad. But I just haven't figured out a better name for it, and I'm calling it the internment camp option. And I promise it's not like that at all. When you think of the Japanese in the 1940s,
Right.
they were rounding them up, taking them from their homes, blah, blah, blah. This is sort of like any new immigrant that comes in are now on a hardcore lifetime watch list. Any refugee who enters the country, you're on a watch list forever. I don't care what you did, you're on a watch list. And that should be okay. They should be okay with that. You come into our country as a refugee, you got to be okay with that.
I mean, if Germany did that, imagine how much better things would be there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, what, we all know about Big Brother and the NSA and they're spying on us. How about we stop spying on the people who are not posing a threat at all, who are working a 9-to-5 job, have no history of criminality, good standing, good credit score even. I don't know if that would go into it. Stop spying on them, looking at their phone, whatever. Start spying on that. Start spending the money on security instead of privacy invasion. Because we're all about liberty and everything. If you have this intelligence capability, do it to that.
Yeah.
And start a program where when they come in, maybe they're in some sort of assistance program, not money-wise, but they put them in some sort of temporary housing, put them in a program to get a job, so that in a 6, 8, or 12-month period, when they're reassessed, if they have no crime, they have an upstanding job, they're an upstanding citizen, there's no government assistance, they're a good citizen, then they're granted permanent citizenship. But they don't go off the watch list. You stay on that watch list forever. And if they find out that you were pulled over for reckless driving, you're gone. I don't care. I don't care. You commit a crime in the probationary period, you're gone. And I think
that's not xenophobic, Jack. That's so xenophobic of you.
I mean,
You're racist.
I think that's the perfect mix of I think it's the perfect mix of national security and
You want to know something,
humanitarian.
Jack?
What do
You want to know something?
What?
You really triggered me with your last statement.
I'm so sorry.
Trigger.
Just kidding.
You're
No.
you're a racist, xenophobic pig.
I need a safe space.
Yeah, I need to go to UC Berkeley.
Oh my gosh, that's not safe. There's
Oh
not
well,
safe
yeah,
over
it's
there.
not definitely not safe.
You know, while they're burning things down, the other half of the students are getting coloring books, Play-Dohs, and puppies to pet.
Yeah.
Gosh, we need that.
They're so
I think that's
triggered.
the thing. You should, like, around like finals
Oh my
week
God.
and ISTEP, bring in some therapy puppies. Like,
Wait.
that's real.
What if we had a
The
bit?
stress there.
What if we had a bit called Safe Space Saturday?
Oh my God, where we only where we talk like liberals,
Oh, and we need a comfy couch, coffee table, like ton
and
of
we have
like-
to wear those glasses that don't actually do anything.
And
I
we
have
have
like
tea,
9 pairs
and
of
we
those.
We
have
need
tea.
Snapchat glasses.
There you go. Where are those?
Oh my gosh, and we have to wear like a shirt I'm wearing now.
Yeah. You know, Jack, I'll say this about the Muslim ban or the travel ban, whichever people want to call it. I think that the moral idea of protecting Americans and putting America first is a great idea. The implementation of this probably could have been a little bit better, a
Yeah.
little bit nicer.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of to the point where it's time to be harsh because
Sure.
we've done so many things
Yeah.
softly and quietly. Like, I mean, Obama did the same thing in 2011, and
Yep.
nobody
I mean,
said
other
a
than the
single thing.
capability Obama had to
Yeah.
bomb people without feeling any remorse.
Yeah,
He had no backbone.
and
Like,
he's deported like 12 million immigrants. I don't know. That's like the second most out of any
no one
president
talks about that because he's a
behind Bill
non-white
Clinton.
Democrat.
Yeah.
So
Racist.
obviously he doesn't do anything anti-liberal.
Yeah, he can't do nothing wrong apparently.
Because
No,
he's biracial, even though people think he's black.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What is he, Hawaiian and
First,
black?
and let me bring up a point about Obama.
I'm not sure.
The
White
first
black.
black president was raised by a white woman.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
Oh
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That's gonna scoot over here.
Triggered.
Yeah.
It's funny to me and CJ. We spoke about this when you talk about this quote unquote Muslim ban, this retarded label. Oh my God, I used the retarded word. I'm gonna.
Oh my God!
Wow.
Don't say the R
Safe
word.
space.
God,
I'm
sorry.
actually labeled retarded. Don't say that.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, they use this ridiculous Muslim ban nonsense, this ridiculous label, and that label. I mean, the 90 some odd percent of the Muslims have no issue with it. Like, I mean, literally, the left went off on a hinge. They were literally interviewing. I think it was a Canadian broadcasting company that said this. They were interviewing Pakistanis. Like, how are Pakistanis affected by Trump's Muslim ban? I'm like, they're not affected because Pakistan's not on the list, you dummies.
Yeah.
They're just literally going off on the tangent. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, my God, I mean, these people are absolutely ridiculous. And then they were, and I'm like, you got 7 countries on the list. They're all hotspots. A few of them we're at war with. And I'm like, people have they're getting all twisted up because of the simple fact that we said, you know what, we want to know who the hell's coming in. And then you have the libtard lawyers out there. Well, this really impinges upon their Fifth Amendment rights. They don't have any rights. They're immigrants. They're not citizens.
Yet they're not citizens. They're not protected by the Constitution.
Correct.
Right.
This is a violation of the constitutional rights for American citizens. Dear leftist libtards, understand it, please.
Dear leftist libtards.
Oh
I like
God.
it.
And I just want to make this clear on my part. I like some liberals. I think some of them are very nice.
I used to be a liberal, so
like the
I
liberals
agree with a
that-
lot of their stuff, but they're just Jesus Christ. Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah, they used to be all right people, but like now it's just like
Oh, it's gone off the deep end, bro.
it is.
It's like that's why I stopped being a liberal, because I start seeing I'm smart enough to notice when people are spewing BS. It's
like liberals
what are you doing?
liberals in like the 60s and 80s. They were
Oh yeah, JFK.
they were
great guy.
good people.
was a good
MLK and
guy.
all
He was
those guys,
All the people.
great people.
Also, first 2 waves of feminism, highly, highly important.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Flappers. were great.
unbelievably
The
important.
what's the
Oh,
one
yeah.
lady, Rosie the Riveter? Yeah,
Yeah.
Is that what?
great.
She's the
yeah,
flexing-
she's the one that's flexing. Yeah,
And,
Who's
like,
the
that-
lady
that
who
is so
helped in the
important.
war when like no women were in the military and she like carried water to the soldiers?
I couldn't tell you that.
I forgot the name.
I'm not sure. I think that was a Civil War thing, though.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That
We're
was-
headed towards another one of those. So I'm going to say that right now.
Actually, libtards they don't like guns. So, I think
Well, hold on. Let me correct that. My buddy who's in Hollywood, who works in the entertainment industry, he goes to all these business meetings, this that major production company, and he's like, man, everybody I know, they're crying, they're whining, they're all butthurt, and they're all buying guns and ammo. All of a sudden, the leftists in California are going crazy buying guns and ammo. I kid you not. Like, well, now they're starting to find out that it's not for sports. It's not for sports.
Which makes me wonder, like, where are these people on the watch lists? Because like you see these mass shootings,
They're unhinged, man.
and they're like, they come out and they're like, yeah, this guy was on 14 different federal watch lists. He shouldn't have had a gun. Then why did he have a gun? Like, how did you not notice? If he's on the watch list, why aren't you watching him? Like, who are you watching? Like, are you watching grass grow? What are you doing? I don't understand.
There's all sorts of theories to that. I mean, one of it is they're actually watching him so that he could actually go out and perform an atrocity. Because, I mean, let's be honest here. Every single atrocity that occurs, you look at the state. The state, stands to benefit. And for the, so many last few decades, man, we've had a political fifth column in this country. We've had an anti-American, very globalist policy within our foreign policy as well as a domestic policy. So heck, if there's a mass shooting, who benefits? Que bono. Well, it's going to be the state. The state wants to come in, they want to clamp down, and and that's what you see every single time. So and the question is, hey, this guy's on the watch list. How come nobody's watching? How come nobody's tracking this guy? How come nobody stopped the guy?
Yeah,
that's
the 93 World Trade Center bombing was the most ridiculous one, where they actually have court records, and the court recordings of it was actually part of the public record, where the FBI trained the guys to cook the bombs, and the guy's like, wait a minute, he's a so-called asset. I forgot the Iraqi's name, CJ, but this guy's an asset, and he's like, wait a minute, these are real explosives, and you want me to drive it where? Yeah, just put it under the columns. Like, what? like, and so it's like they're encouraging this kind of crap at some level because why? They're a bunch of fifth columnists. They have political ideologies, and you've seen this. Like, look at how the CIA attacked Michael Flynn. Okay, General Michael T. Flynn, who is a registered Democrat, by the way, who is the head of he's the head national security advisor, meaning the NSA and the CIA report to him. It's the first time ever the CIA attacked its own boss. Why? Because you have a fifth column there. That's part of the swamp training that Trump's about to do.
And I just want to say, like, you look at the stuff in the early 90s. You know, the United States government created Al Qaeda.
Yep.
All these different terrorist
created
groups.
ISIS.
We gave them the weapons.
Yep.
So they were supposed to go in there and do America's bidding, but they changed their mind and started doing their own thing. So we created the problem.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, for some reason, people like to say that it's what am I trying to say here? That it's like an evil culture. Which, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things wrong with the well, not necessarily wrong, but detrimental to American culture that is in, Middle Eastern culture or
It's completely incompatible, man.
I mean, yeah, stoning women is totally not cool, or throwing a gay man off of a roof.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little hardcore, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, that's homophobic, okay?
This is
I'm offended.
I'm triggered. I think it's very, very triggered.
But it's like that's why when Trump said Hillary created ISIS and everyone was like, no, she didn't. Yeah, she kind of did.
Yeah,
She kind of did.
Yeah.
she kind of did.
The whole
She
United
also kinda
States,
wanted to
along
start
with the
World War
Bushes.
III.
yeah, that's why. And someone told me, they were like, after this whole Muslim ban, they were like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have voted for Hillary. No, you wouldn't, because
We'd be
right
in war
now
with
we have a
Russia.
hashtag Muslim ban. Right now, if we had Hillary, we would already be gone. Like, World War III would have started this third day. I would say that now. It would have started day 3.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Syria and Russia.
Yep.
And it would be done.
Yep.
The day World War III starts is the day it ends.
Mhm.
Like, it's a one-day event.
Yeah, I think it was
Nukes, game over.
I think it was Einstein who says
Oh yeah.
I don't know what weapons World War III will be fought with, but I know World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I refer to that quote all the time. I love it, and I'm also afraid of it because I know how true it is. And he said that at a time where he didn't even really know. We've progressed even more since then. Now there's like laser weapons in space now. They're about to get to that.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
that's
Straight out of
terrifying.
Star Wars, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
like I don't know if you ever played Call of Duty Ghosts, the thing called Odin
oh yeah,
that just shoots big ballistic missiles out of the sky from space.
the U.S. is doing that.
Yeah,
the US
we
is
already
doing
have
that.
projects like that. China, I'm sure, has stuff like that's the crazy thing is I don't know what is
Rod
orbiting
of God, man.
Russia or China has.
Well, the reason the U.S. is doing ballistics is because from space is because we're not allowed to launch nukes, so they're like
Right.
ballistics from space.
Let's just
is
put a
good enough.
big metal pole. Let's just
No,
throw
that's
a pole
what it
at
is, though.
No, that's
I
what
mean,
it is.
yeah,
It's called Rod of God.
Yeah, when you drop it from
Oh, Rods
space,
of God, something like that.
GG, game
Yep.
over, fam.
It's pretty strong. It's almost as strong as a fairly weak nuclear bomb.
I mean, yeah, it's like just a giant bullet from space.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need. You could probably drop a penny from space, and it would still mess up a car pretty
Yeah.
good.
terminal
Yeah,
velocity.
Yeah.
the kinetic energy involved in something like that is absolutely massive. If you guys remember, like 3 years ago, there was the Tianjin explosion that occurred in China, and that was supposedly a chemical explosion. That's how the media spun it, as a chemical explosion that literally, when you look at the video, it looks like a friggin' micro nuke going off. I think it was 70 ton. It was like the equivalent of the explosion was like over 70 or 70 tons, almost close to 100 tons of explosive power, created a 2-mile deep lake, wiped out the Volkswagen factory. And it was pretty interesting because that chemical explosion occurred at the same site where China's strategically valuable supercomputer happens to be. Coincidence? I think not. And then another chemical explosion happened where the second Chinese supercomputer was supposed to be. I mean, there's all sorts of things going on in the background, in the shadows that we don't really quite know about. And
in Cold War II. I mean, like it could be like a World War, Cold War, like just.
Oh, there's a proxy war, as we
like,
speak.
who knows?
Well, the Middle East proxy war is central.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops is just a great example. Why I keep going to Call of Duty, couldn't tell you. It's military base and I play it all the time, so it doesn't matter. But it's like stuff that's going on that no one knows about that they just keep secret. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. What are we doing that nobody knows about?
And that's
like, are we in like underwater? Have we found Atlantis? Like,
I think this is a big bonus of Trump being president. It's because he talks a lot, and hopefully here in the future we'll start hearing some declassifications of certain
Jesus.
You know, it's amazing you guys said that. Yesterday Bix was talking about that. Remember yesterday he was talking about the fact that Trump needs to come out and just lay the truth out and allow the American people to understand what has happened the last several years with
the things I want to see.
Everything.
The things I want to see is like JFK, MLK, 9/11, aliens,
Sandy Hook.
What happened?
Do you think the other 40% will even care though? That's my thing. I mean, if it was proven this year that the whole Democratic Party, was the whole election process, it was rigged for Hillary.
Totally.
And they didn't. I mean, would they even care? I don't think they would even care.
I don't think leftists care, man. I mean, look, they're wearing hijabs for the love of God, and they're shouting Allah Akbar. Did you see that? I mean, what the hell?
Crazy.
Feminists in Germany sing Allah. They're like out there singing Aloha Snack Bar in a feminist rally. I mean, what in God's name, man?
Oh man. Well, it's like like you said, it's crazy. They're like the election was rigged for Hillary. She still lost, so who cares? If Russia tampered with and it's already come out that they didn't tamper with votes. They just tried to influence, which to me should not be a crime. Like that shouldn't be a big deal. Like if
celebrities get to influence.
Like if you are so weak-minded that you are influenced by Vladimir Putin living across an ocean, maybe you should just vote for who he says to. Like,
we'll keep in mind.
I think what might be important is the fact that CNN provided the questions to Hillary.
Oh yeah, but that's not influence, CJ. That's not influencing. That's okay.
I hate
the fact that the
smile.
Oh the fact that the war goddess.
He looks like the devil.
She does.
Oh my gosh,
that's funny.
I don't know. I had a bit here on tradition. Because
let's hear it.
Tradition.
Yeah, like where we say keep things the way that's just how it is, or that's just how it's always been. I hate that. I really hate that. Like, I got talking about education with my dad and complaining because now I have that Wetrick in me who's like, education, it needs to be changed. And my dad's like, no, I learned same stuff as you. Maybe you were a little more advanced, and it's like, why? That's not good. Like if you keep things the same for too long, things get obsolete.
Well, see, that's the 20th century education model.
Exactly.
Where it was good to go and work at a factory for your whole life.
Yeah.
You can't do that now.
That doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Everything's automated.
Maybe if all these factories are coming back,
you have to think for yourself now.
Yeah, you can't just graduate high school, get married at 20, have kids at 25, 26.
Work on the farm until you're 97.
Work
natural
until you're 60, retire, and get Social Security for the next 30 years.
And
401k. That's not a thing. Like, yeah.
Oh, we're not going to have Social Security.
It's going to blow up in 2 years.
You're not going to have pensions either. I mean, look at California. Their whole entire state pension system is like negative into the billions. They're literally giving out IOUs at this point.
Yeah.
Well, here's the whole thing with education. It's been infiltrated for so long. I mean, they want a compliant society. They don't want us to be independent thinkers and to question. So again, the education. I'm not. My wife's an educator, right? But when you have a superintendent in schools that is allowing his political affiliation, I got an email that came out from the superintendent of schools, and just real quick, basically what he states is that recent changes in Washington give us pause to reflect on the district's non-discrimination and anti-harassment policies. So obviously he's just basically just saying, hey, I'm a big liberal and I'm not agreeing with Washington. Why do you have to broadcast that out to all parents? And we just see this over and over that, get the politics out of things and do what's right for America.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, oh my God.
It's
so
crazy.
much
There was
there.
a thing at our school, and I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, and I don't really care. I won't say the school's name.
The school doesn't know where we're recording. It's fine.
Well, yeah, whatever.
They do now.
Hold me down at the office. It doesn't matter. Because I'll debate about this until I die. Where we said
We have a black curtain for a reason.
they said around election time there was an article that they released that said the election is to blame for bad behavior in schools.
Yeah.
What?
They blamed.
my
They were like,
God.
the election and the results have been a big cause in recent behavioral issues in our high school.
Wow.
Hilarious, actually.
That was on Facebook, and that makes me not proud to be a Miller at all. Like, not at all. And I know they say that you're supposed to.
That came from our school?
Yeah, that was our school.
What happened again? I was doing something.
They said that the election was to blame for recent bad behavior, and this was back in November, obviously.
Well, I've heard some stuff, from the smaller schools, the younger kids. They're saying to like the Mexican kids, go back to Mexico or whatever. Or when he builds that wall, we're going to toss you over and all that stuff. I've heard some stuff like that from a few kids.
That's
Well,
funny.
right. I mean, yeah, there's a few things, but that's just topical. Like that's it. It's not the election is to blame for this. Like at some point you have to be accountable. The school has to be like, yeah, well, sure, the election's causing some hiccups, but we're not doing enough. Just putting an article out and being like, yeah, parents, if you get a thing and your kid went to detention, it's probably because of the election. Like that's such a cop out. I can't even.
Well, I think it's the parents that are the problem, right? I mean, did you guys see
my
where
God.
there was
Parents-
the little boy that had it was a black family, and the little boy shared with his mom. She asked him who he voted for in the school's mock election. You guys remember that video?
She's
Kicking him out of the house, and he's like 3 years old. Crazy.
I just want to talk about black parents for a second. I'm gonna
Go for it.
I'm gonna be as nice as I can.
So not very.
In the black community, and this is my whole thing, the black community. But in the black community, having a different opinion is not accepted at all. And that's why the black community is in the bad of shape that it is right now, is because diversity of thought is nowhere near the black family or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to tradition.
It's so sad that woman was like, oh, you can't, and this is a little kid and he's traumatized for the rest of his life. She puts him out because he said he voted for Donald Trump because at the school election because he's always on the news. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Kids are going to follow the rhetoric that they hear from the TV. It's the parents' job to tell them, hey, look, this isn't
right.
What
Yeah,
you're seeing isn't
that's one thing I hate.
yeah.
Where people talk about just homosexuality as an example, where they say, "How am I supposed to explain to my kids?" I don't know. Figure it out.
I don't know.
Figure it out because somebody's going to explain it to them.
You sit the kid down. Obviously, maybe not when they're like 1, so they don't understand.
Oh,
but when
for
they're like 7, sit them down. Say, "Hey, yeah, you're gonna fall in love with somebody someday, and it might be a man. If it's a little
Let's
boy,
hope it's a woman.
it might be a
Let's
woman.
hope it's exactly.
It might be a woman. It might be a man.
But let's hope it's a woman.
Well, I'm not going to say that because, but
Well, at that
you
young
know-
of an age, I would.
right. But,
Yeah,
I would,
don't confuse them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, that's the tough part. Is it confusing or is it? I
It's
want to give my
confusing.
kids all the information possible.
Statistic-
No, it's
Statistically,
like,
confusing.
I'm not gonna have
Statistically
my kids
speaking,
back.
it is confusing.
You think
What'd
it
you
is
say?
confusing?
Statistically speaking, it is confusing. You know, it's you know the whole thing with I mean, oh my God, man. I mean, there's so much research that's been done on it. I got to pull it when maybe on a future show.
Yeah.
Where they're looking at like countries that have been pro-homosexual for so many years, even before we were. Statistics don't fare well for kids who are kind of pushed into a lifestyle, or there's a lot of gender identity disorder that develops. You also have like in places like the Netherlands, man. I mean, like kids who are adopted by 2 gay parents, they don't fare well emotionally speaking. They do not fare well.
I just want to say this. This is the most valid statistic that I've ever heard. If you put 50 men on an island, and you come back in 100 years, how many people are going to be on the island?
Dead. They're all dead.
They're all dead. Just
Right.
let that sink in.
Right. I mean, yeah, but when you look at we have a population problem, right? I like Bill Burr's talk. I don't know if you saw his most recent stand-up, and if you listen to his podcast is amazing. Go check that out too, because oh my god, I can't stop. But his most recent stand-up, he talks about if he were a dictator, how he would get rid of the population problem, because he's been talking about it for 4 specials now. He would just kill people who go on cruises. He would just go out into the water at night when people are on cruises, 2,500, 3,000 people, torpedo it, sink it, kill everybody there. Because he's like, look, think about the crowd of people who go on to cruises. It was hilarious, but he was talking about, if you stop people from reproducing, I feel like, gay relationships are good for that, where it's like, just stop having a baby for a second. Jesus Christ.
Here's the thing, I have gay friends. V has gay friends, but let me do the parenting. I don't need the schools to do the social engineering, the social programming. That's my job as a parent. Teach them how to, teach them things in school, and obviously, but in terms of, the social acceptance and the social engineering the schools are getting into now, I think that's the bigger message, right?
Well, yeah. And then like our English classes are like, have became so.
Oh, I have to write a report on feminism, by the way.
They became so liberal-fied or whatever, if that's a word. Like in my English class, and I love the teacher, I love the school, but we learn. I know they have no control over the curriculum, but we had to learn about Marxist theory and feminist theory, looking at stuff through a Marxist lens, which is not that good, and a feminist lens, which is definitely not good.
Right.
So
I
don't like it. And then
here's the thing. I think that they do influence a little bit, as far as, the teaching and everything. There was one of my friends let me know, and he's contacted the superintendent and everything in schools, but one of the teachers at the school where they attend actually gave the instructions to the kids that I want you to write a report on why the doomsday clock was recently moved. In other words, just basically inciting their own political beliefs that it was a result of Trump, being elected. So that was their homework assignment, is that, hey, I want you to write about the doomsday clock and why it was recently moved. So again, the fear porn that the educators, the fear porn of the liberals, anything and everything that Trump does right now at this point is going to be deemed bad, right? I mean, we got to know that. When you look at, Milo, a gay conservative, they're trying to shut down free speech. The travel ban turned into the Muslim ban. The media and somewhat some of the schools are really at the point now where they are trying to manipulate the minds and the lack of free will and independent thought. Go form your own opinion versus being programmed by an education facility that's going to basically tell you what they want you to think.
Yeah, I mean, Trump is at a point where like people hate him so much, the people who do hate him, where he could kiss a baby and then
he's got herpes on his lips. Kissing that baby.
He could kiss a baby and people would call him a pedophile. Yeah.
No. If he want to kiss the baby, then the libtards would say that Pizzagate is real.
Oh my god.
then you'll see Pizzagate back trending on Reddit with the proof that Pizzagate is real. Look, Trump kissed a baby. That's exactly what they would say,
My
man.
favorite thing about Trump, though, all the stuff that he's saying is challenging people. This is the first. This is the first time in who knows how long that the public opinion has been challenged.
Decades.
That is so healthy for the country, and he's also all about, like, we have to clean up our own house before we clean up other people's houses. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like his rhetoric, his arguments, all of that is challenging people, and that is beautiful and healthy. I love arguments.
I hate that that liberals hate debating. Like, I hate that
because they don't have arguments.
Right. They don't. And I think it should be healthy to have that where you get caught in a bind and you realize, wait, I don't actually have an argument. Yeah. That's why I want to have, and I'm going to say this name, and now maybe she won't want to be on, but I want to
say the name. Oh, wait.
I want Anita Sarkeesian on.
Okay.
I want to ask her real questions to say, look, I understand that there can be some parts of our society that are unequal between men and women, but how do we fix it? Because it seems like all you're doing is just complaining about it. So in the spirit,
who is this person, and what
oh
is she?
My God, she is the feminazi Hitler. If you want to go that far,
is she talking about the nonsense of the gender pay gap and all that other BS?
And she talks about video games being not racist, sexist. She says,
"Oh, that girl."
To the
Okay,
male.
now I know who it is.
Yeah.
She's got a, you know, she's no. Geez,
That's because people, you say it better than I do. I can't remember what word you use, but I'm you know, in terms of belief systems, people get so trapped in their own beliefs. Man. Yeah, they get so stuck in that, and that's all they want to believe.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's understandable to a certain point where you get in a comfort zone, and it sucks to have somebody challenge you, but you have to.
But it's come to a point where all it is confirmation bias at this point.
Yeah,
because now that it's all confirmation bias, they don't have an argument anymore.
Right. It's now a debate where I'm going to Google how right am I on a scale of 1 to 10.
All they say is you're racist.
Yeah.
You're Islamophobic.
Go to imright.com, find some statistic that doesn't matter. Like,
as soon as
imright.com,
you've lost. You don't have an argument. So you call people names. You label things as hate speech. There's no hate speech. There's ideas and action.
What's his name? Jordan Peterson? Is that who it is? PhD? Jordan Peterson, the guy who gets attacked by the SJWs.
Oh, I love that.
In like massive amounts.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And they say, so you're saying blah, 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 blah. And he's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm trying to say, if you'd let me speak, is that, you know, there's a lot of videos online of him at university speaking, and then afterwards,
and as soon
10 to 12 SJWs walk up and they just attack him.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
anytime he talks, there's 20 other people, SJWs, talking over him, trying to limit what he says.
I mean, he's the most logical man I've heard in a long time.
Oh, he's awesome.
I mean, he's perfectly independent or libertarian, however you want to. He's right down the middle, moderate. He's got the, you know, he's not biased to anything.
Yep.
He's just biased to facts, science, statistics, instead of this fake morality that liberals have come up with. Like, so many morals now aren't even real. Like, gender identity has not been a thing up until the 21st century.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it was sort of talked about in the 80s or whatever. I think you had transvestites. That was the term. Now you don't say, you can't say hermaphrodite anymore.
Yeah.
Even though that's a scientific term.
Correct.
Transgender. I'm transgender. Because now it seems like sex and gender are two different things.
Which there's
because now there's 76 different genders, supposedly.
Yeah, whatever Lacey Green said.
76.
I don't know how many genders you have to have, but I identify as all 76. So it's like
it's crazy.
And I feel kind of almost like society has made me feel bad for being cisgendered and white. Like, cisgender male white man is the worst thing you can be.
Yeah, I said like, last time we came on, I brought up the fact that the most threatened person on the planet is the white Christian middle class male who is married with 2 kids.
Yep.
That's the most threatened person on the planet.
Yep. Just because he worked hard and he has it good.
Yeah, and he was born born white, and he had no choice over that.
Oh,
so
my message to poor white people: how do you get poor? All you have to do is exist. How do you mess up that? Like,
how do you get poor? All you have to do is rely on tax money.
Yeah, and sometimes poverty isn't necessarily, you know, chosen. There can obviously generational poverty we talk about. You can try to break out of it. Sometimes circumstance gets in the way, but I don't believe the people who say that white privilege is all you need, because there's a lot of poor white people, and I see them a lot. It's called
1000%, man. That's a myth right there. You know, I'm not a Caucasian, but I'll tell you right now that whole myth of white privilege, that is a complete myth. I mean, just from the statistical economic numbers. I think right now, you look at a college-educated white man coming out of college, your average salary is about $64,500.
Yeah.
Okay. You look above and that places you at number 6 or 7 on the list. The top 3 are Indians, Chinese, Taiwanese, Koreans, Japanese. Those are your top income earners in the country. So you want to talk about white privilege? Well, it's not working out so well. Okay.
Yeah,
it's illusionary white privilege. Yes.
And here's an amazing thing. That like right now, all of the executives, a ton of like top level executives are white, and that's just because of the previous generations. What we're gonna see in the next 15 to 20 years is a huge demographic shift in that area, because those people are going to start retiring. They're going to start handing off their positions to other people, and we're going to see a huge demographic shift that occurs naturally, mind you, where more minorities are involved in these top level positions.
And you know, it's like
just a generation.
You don't have to do affirmative action. It's just going to happen. Anyway,
yeah, it's more the nation is slowly becoming more and more diverse and less pure, if you'd say white.
Pure.
That's
the Aryan race.
The Aryan race.
The Aryan
pure.
race is the king race.
But the nation.
Oh
the
my
United,
God, that's a soundbite. Oh,
the
my
United
God,
States is becoming less white, essentially. There's more Mexicans. There's more blacks coming. Well, the blacks is actually declining. If you look at the 2000 census, there were like 40-something million blacks, and now it's like 38-something. So it's declining, but it's still rising at the same time, if that makes sense. Yeah. But the nation is getting less pure. So that's a bad way to say
this
it.
is sort of and when you said this people coming in, and it leads me back to the population thing and even tradition, where when you think about like funerals and like burying people, like just that's kind of weird. Like put them in a box and in the ground, like put them in the water, throw them in the ocean.
Watch, they need fish food.
Yeah. The sharks.
Whale, I don't want a whale to eat me.
It's kind of weird putting them in the ground. Or marriage. Like think about what that even is. Like that was an ancient thing where you would pass on your daughter as property, and now we do it like it's nothing. Like that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Or like a what is it? Quinceañera. I don't know what that. Or a what's the Jewish holiday thing where they're
bar mitzvah, man.
Bar mitzvah, yeah, or a bat mitzvah for a female. Is that what it is? That's. I mean, it's like what are these even for? I mean, I know
they're to celebrate adulthood usually,
right? And
so
they
like
say
it's
tradition.
When a Hispanic
Speaking
girl
of
becomes 15,
adulthood,
suddenly she's an adult.
You guys should mention what today is.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Hey,
Thank you.
Robert Jones is 18 today.
Happy birthday!
He's legal. Oh my God!
The big 1-8.
Wow.
Awesome.
Are you still 17?
I'm still 17.
Oh man, I'm the oldest of us three. How about that?
Yeah.
Cash me outside. How about that?
April 26th is my birthday.
Yeah.
I'm pretty young.
Guys,
that's my granny's birthday.
Really?
Great first show.
What is it? The Super Bowl's this Sunday, right?
Yes, it is.
It is Sunday.
I'm banning it. I'm not even going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not even.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't
who's
care.
In it,
I don't care.
I don't even care.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
at the point where it's like I don't.
You know, Lady Kaka is going to go out there and say something anti-American, anti-Trump. It's just going to happen.
I mean, her album's pretty good. Like John Wayne is a great song, but
yeah, let's see how political.
I want to
see
how political Lady Gaga gets during.
I want to also watch the social justice warrior commercials. Now I hear Budweiser's coming out with the SJW commercials. You know, Audi's doing a feminist commercial. I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous at this point.
Okay, doesn't everyone has Snapchat, right? Or does everyone know?
I don't use it.
Okay. Well, you know how they have like those stories from like the different magazines?
Yeah.
And it's like the stories you can click on and sort of get news.
It's all pandering too.
Oh yeah. But there's one yesterday, because Beyonce is now pregnant with twins, is what they said. But she did a photo shoot nude, and they were talking about it. They were like, B gets naked with her babies. Like, that's not a good thing to say. That should not be the headline. B gets naked with her babies. Really? That's the best you could come up with. You couldn't say.
She still looks amazing. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah, she's a healthy woman.
I mean, yeah. But I'm not into the whole pregnant thing. But
Jack,
I don't know. It's kind of a little different when I know that there's humans in there.
She's still a nice looking lady, even though she's pregnant. I just want to throw that out.
Well, yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's a healthy woman. That's what you can expect when you're healthy, instead of an SJW whale at Berkeley. It's not like you're.
Oh my God!
I'm triggered. I'm triggered.
Yeah. So, guys,
great show.
Yeah,
that was. I enjoyed this.
Jack,
I'm excited.
Tell them where they can find you.
Oh, they can find me. You can find me on Twitter at Caroselli_Jack. That's CAROSELLI_Jack.
Mine is Real Robert Jones.
Because he ain't fake.
Yeah. So where can they find you?
_Saul_Garza.
And SAUL, just like Paul.
SAUL.
Saul the Paul.
Yeah. So in Solutions Matter _SM _podcast. And we are on iTunes, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
And I want to thank you guys, Rogue Money, for having us on. This is going to be a great show. So I assume this is a weekly thing. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're going to try and get this thing up and running. I guess it's a great way of bringing issues from two generations and coming together here. You guys,
and we should think of something that we disagree on. We should try to just spitball and see what and have a debate. Because I could try to debate people, in Generation X. It usually just turns into an argument. If you can have something healthy, that'd be good too.
Yeah. It will be. Yep.
We're the guys to do it with.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Pretty logical.
Good deal.
Not gonna start calling people names.
Awesome, guys. You guys can find us on roguemoney.net. We're also on the Apple's iTunes podcast as well as Android. You can find us on Pocket Cast. Also, if you have an Apple iOS device, just go to the news app, type in Rogue Money, and boom, we are there. You can follow us on Facebook as well and Twitter at the Rogue Money. So check us out, or it's economics, geopolitics, and geostrategic. So you want to know what the hell's going on in the world, man? You go there.
Right, yeah. RogueMoney.net. Hit them up.
With that being said, we're over and out. Take it away, CJ.